when you are playing in overseas conditions, you are challenged when you walk into bat. The first 20 minutes to half an hour period for any batsman is very, very important. Actually, made my debut. Rahul Bhai was still playing, and I always felt that I wanted to play alongside Rahul Bhai and learn from him as much as possible.
Rohit is now 36, Virat is 38, and they find themselves in a position you have been quite a while in your career playing just one format. They're just playing the ODI format.
Yeah.
And the ODI World Cup is in over 2 years away. Since they play only one format and you have done that for quite a bit of your career, what advice would you give them?
Especially when it comes to white ball cricket, look at the records which Virat has, look at the record which Rohit has in T20 and the ODI format. So they are experienced enough to know what is expected from them. They also know when is the right time for them to call it off.
Welcome, Cheteshwar. Thanks for, I'm sure you will be busy with post-retirement phone calls, people calling you, people visiting your place. Lovely to spare some time for us. It's always been a privilege for all of us to cover you. Uh, all these years, you've given us immense joy, the innings which you played across the world. You were that reassuring presence always on the pitch, and you gave us lots to write about your courage, about your patience, God knows what all, right? So I'll start with the first question. Now that you've retired, right? Now you go to the bed more peacefully, not thinking about the nets next day, not thinking about the comeback. So what are your new worries? To get the grocery or to drop your daughter at school? How has these one day? Or like what to expect in the coming days?
Firstly, thank you very much, Sandeep Bhai. I think it's a pleasure to interact with you, and you have covered so many games throughout my journey and wrote so many articles about my innings. So, firstly, thank you for all the memories, because my father is a hardcore cricket fan and he collects all the articles written about me. So he has a big collection. And even before a couple of days, he went to so many newspaper shops and tried collecting as many articles as possible. Uh,
Okay.
but yeah, just to answer your question, I think at this stage, I honestly haven't thought about the future plans, but my daughter was mentioning a couple of days back when I announced the retirement that now I can trouble you a bit more. You will be at home, so I'll try and make good use of your time. You will have to spend a lot of time with me, and that is something I'm looking forward to. Spending a lot of time with the family, with the friends, because all these years I haven't been able to celebrate a lot of festivals as well. And now, since I'll be in Rajkot, all my extended family members and friends who live in Rajkot, we will try and have a lot of get-togethers, try and enjoy the festivities. And at the same time, I do believe that I want to contribute to the social service. So I'll try and do as much social service as possible yeah, for our country. And at the same time, I'll try and contribute to the Indian cricket in whatever manner I can. So those are the things which I've thought about it as of now. But going forward, yes, I will continue doing the media work. I've enjoyed my commentary stints, and at the same time, if there are any future possibility arises, then I'll think about it in the future.
Coaching also, you would also give your mind to
I,
coaching in case the opportunity arises.
I will definitely consider it. I haven't ruled it out, but I'll also have to try and figure out what coaching opportunity it is, and whether it will be in a near future, whether I'll be given that after a while. Because at this moment, I do want to spend some time with the family. So if it's not a year-round job, then I will be definitely keen to consider it.
Right, right. Jiteshwar, like one of the headlines which we gave for your retirement was the last of the specialist, right? The test batsman, like the batting, like how you, it was all about your patience. You tested the patience of the bowlers also. You eventually built the whole art of building an innings, right? That was your batting. Do you think eventually how the game is progressing, will that be out of business? And just a thought, in case if you are willing to agree, since you have extensively watched and commented on the England series, does that kind of give you a slight hope? Is there a willingness, or most importantly, is there a support enough from the dressing room for people to play that kind of cricket, which
Uh,
everybody has so used to in tests?
Well, firstly, I think that most of the players are getting picked in the test squad from their performances in T20 International or the IPL or even the Indian ODI team. There are very few players who are getting picked in the test squad because of their Ranji performances. Someone like Karun Nair is one of the examples, and Abhimanyu Ashwaran. But apart from that, if you look at the batters, they are getting picked because of their white ball performances. And even the bowlers are coming from white ball circuit into the test squad. So things have changed, and that's the reason I feel that modern era batsmen, so their strength is to play attacking cricket. They're sticking to their strength. They are learning the art of defending the ball, leaving the ball when the situation arises. So now things have changed a lot, and that's why I feel that going forward, we will hardly see a conventional test player, because any youngster, if you ask them what do you want to achieve in your cricketing journey, and their answer is to play all the formats of the game. Yes, they might want to play test cricket as well, but their priority is to get selected in the IPL or get picked in the Indian squad in white ball circuit. And then if opportunity arises to be part of the test squad, then they want to be part of the test squad as well. So their game is revolving around white ball, but if they can get better at red ball, they are trying their best. So that's why I feel that the attacking game is not likely to change going forward. I think we will see even more attacking cricket going forward, say 5, 10 years down the line, even in test format. We have already seen that, but at the moment it is still smart cricket. At the moment it is still sensible. Players are assessing the situation and then counter attacking. But going forward, I think the game is likely to move forward with a higher strike rate, with higher scoring rate throughout the innings also. We have seen in England also some of the games where the pitches were on the flatter side. The economy rate of a bowling side is close to four, sometimes 4.5, 5 runs, and even the opening start. Which England openers were providing. Sometimes we have seen that they had scored 60 odd runs in first 5, 6 overs. So they're changing the dynamics of the game, which can only happen if you are playing on a flat pitch. I again, I've made this point even when I was commentating on India England series, that if you start playing on a challenging pitch, can you continue playing like that? And I think the answer is no. Yes, one odd innings you can counter attack, but again, if you're playing on a challenging pitch, you do need to change your game, and that's why I feel that going forward, the test cricket still will remain like it should be played. Yes, we will see a lot more positive cricket going forward. But if there is a conventional test player who comes out of Ranji Trophy, I still feel that he will have a chance to contribute to the team.
Right. There are lots of people, so I'll just confine myself to two. Uh, Another person who's covered you extensively, Devendra Pandey, is here. He will ask a few. Devin, is he there? I think he's lost link. Sandeep, can you?
Hi,
Hello,
hi, hi,
Sandeep.
Dinesh.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm
Yeah,
good. Thank you. How are you?
pleasure to cover your games too. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean, I just want to ask you, like the last 2 years. I mean, you the last test you played at Oval and the farewell. In these 2 years, I mean, how was it like dealing with the uncertainty and trying to get back into the team, playing domestic cricket, playing county cricket? Can you just go through that phase?
Well, last 2 years, one thing I had it in my mind is that I wanted to enjoy my cricket, whether I play first class cricket for Saurashtra, whether I play county cricket for Sussex, or if I get an opportunity to represent the Indian team again. My aim was to enjoy my cricket, try and stay as relaxed as possible, because if you have had a tough journey in the past, because if when I look back at my cricketing journey, when I made my debut for the Indian team since 2010, it has been a roller coaster. I've had a couple of major injuries. After that, uh, I've had a little bit of tough time in England in 2014, but since then things have been progressing well. But there have always been some challenges in my cricketing journey, and that's why I thought that towards the last phase of my cricketing journey, I wanted to enjoy the game as much as possible, and that's what I tried doing in last couple of years. Yes, selection was on my mind. If I get picked for the Indian team, I was more than happy to play for the Indian team again. And as a cricketer, you always want to play at the highest level. But if it didn't happen, I don't have any regrets. And I've enjoyed my last couple of years without having any pressure, without having any tension, whether I'll get selected or not. That was secondary, but I wanted to enjoy the game, and which I've done in the last couple of years.
Thanks, Yaresh. This is a question that my colleague Sriram Veera wanted to ask you. He's unfortunately not able to join here. I mean, we were all. I mean, I can also relate to that question actually. Like some of
Yes.
us were annoyed that the whole show Indian batting that went on from India during your end few years of your career. Like I mean, no one said that to Rahul Dravid when he was batting with Virendra Sehwag. I mean, who was a bigger attacker than many of your team in that phase. So how did you handle that? I mean, did you feel the pressure trying to adapt and what were you really thinking and what do you feel the way forward should be to accommodate different skilled players?
The question is about fulfilling Rahul Bhai's shoes. I didn't
No,
get
no,
the question. Yeah,
some of us were annoyed. I mean, there's all this chatter about showing intent
yeah,
and all this stuff. Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, no one told this to Rahul Dravid when he was
yeah,
batting with Virendra Sehwag. And
yeah.
even the year before when Sunil Gavaskar was there, nobody said that. So, I mean, did
Yeah.
that affect you in some way or did you try to adapt to it? Or, I mean, how did that pan out?
Look, one has to stick to their strength, and I stuck to my strength. I kept batting the way I knew the best I can contribute to the team success. Yes, there were some questions which were raised in between, but if you look at the 2018 series in Australia, 2021 series in Australia, when I started performing well over there, things started changing because they understood that there is always a role for a classical test match player. Your strike rate doesn't matter that much if you can contribute to the team's victory. That's what the ultimate goal of any batsman. So I don't think it mattered a lot to me. For me, I always looked at the bigger picture. I always wanted to contribute to the Indian team, and as long as I was doing that, I knew that I was doing justice to my ability, and I was trying my best for Team India's victory.
Yeah. I mean, there's a brilliant stat also like 30.4% of India's total runs were accumulated while you were at the crease. So that kind of I mean shows the merit of your
Yeah, and I also actually got to know some stats. Yesterday, someone was telling me that I mean, 13 out of 19, 1300s have been on the Indian team has been on the winning side. And before that, someone was telling me that's the stat I'm really proud about is that whenever I have scored more than 70 runs, uh, 70 or 80% of the times, Indian team hasn't lost the game, which is I think which is a very good achievement as a batsman, because if you have scored more than 70 runs and team doesn't lose a game, there might be some draws in those runs, but at the same time, if the team doesn't lose a test match, I think that's a victory for any batter.
thanks, Yoshi. Thanks.
Lalit, if you're there, or else Rohit. I think Rohit, go ahead then.
Yeah. Hi, Cheteshwar. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I guess I'll just start out by asking the questions that Lalit wanted to ask. They were good questions, actually.
Yeah.
You were one of those players whose career you happened to be playing when that giant event happened in 2013 when Tendulkar retired. And you
Yeah.
were right there when he walked into bat also for the last time.
Yeah.
I was just wondering what that moment was like at the Wankhede Stadium and what kind of conversations you had with them on that day during that innings.
Yeah, firstly, to start off with, I think it was an amazing moment for all the players who were part of that particular test match. It was a full house at Wankhede. That was the loudest cheer I've ever heard on a cricket field. Fortunately, I was there at the crease when Sachin Paji walked into bat. India only batted once in that test match, and I was there throughout his innings. And When he walked into bat, firstly I was overwhelmed with all the accolades he was getting. I was a little nervous as well because I had to focus on my game. I had to concentrate, which was very tough to do. But at the same time, when he was trying to say something, as he walked into bat, I actually couldn't hear him what he was saying. So I had to tell Sachin Paji twice that Paji, can you speak a bit louder? Because of the noise, I can't hear you. And then he told me that we'll try and be in our zone. We'll just try and focus on the game, try and build a partnership. And that's what happened. I think there was a very good partnership I had with Sachin Paji, and I was fortunate enough to have batted throughout that partnership. And I was the only batter who batted with him in his last Test match. So I'm proud about that fact. But it was an amazing moment to have played his 200th Test match and his last game for the Indian team, because he has been a great ambassador for the game. I've learned a lot from him, and yes, his guidance since the time I made my debut in 2010, and even before that, actually, I had interacted with Sachin Paji. His guidance have been it has been very valuable in my cricketing journey.
And just staying in that period, the MS Dhoni was captain, and he sort of handled quite a big transition in the Indian team with the likes of Tendulkar and Dravid and Kumble all retiring, and you all coming through. Was just wondering how that period sort of informed your batting also, and Duncan Fletcher as a coach, what kind of impact he had on your batting.
Well, when the Indian team was going through a transition, before that, actually, I had started scoring runs because I made my debut in 2010, but I was out of the team because of an injury in 2011. But since 2012, I'd started scoring big runs. So I was fortunate enough uh, to have shared the dressing room when the great players were around, and I had learned a lot by sharing the dressing room, by asking them questions. What can I do to get better? Not just in India, but even in overseas conditions. So those sort of interaction did help me. After that, the team did went through a transition, and since 2014, it was slightly a challenging period for many of the young players, because we went to England in 2014, then we went to Australia in 2015, which were a couple of tough tours for the Indian team. But all the team members, because we had played a lot of cricket together in the India A, talking about someone like Shikhar Dhawan, Murli Vijay, uh, Virat, Rohit. All of us had played a lot of cricket. Even Ridhaman Saha was part of the A squad. Shami, Bhuvi, all of us played a lot of games for India A team, and that's why there was a good bonding between us, which allowed us through that transition, and then slowly team started performing well.
Uh, I think Rohit had one more question about the role of Duncan Fletcher, and also you can generally give about the coaches
Yeah.
you worked with, right? And
Yeah.
especially Duncan, because I think he was but very early in your career, he was their coach, right? He was the India
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah, I made my debut when Gary Kirsten was coach,
Okay.
and I actually learned a lot from him. He was one of the best coaches I've worked with. After that, Duncan took over, and he also had a massive impact on players' technique. I spoke a lot to him about my technique. He liked my technique a lot. He did one of the comments I do remember him telling me is that. Do thank your father, because he knew that my father was my coach. That do thank your father, because you have a very strong foundation. You have got a very good technique. And Yeah, it was very nice to work with Duncan. He was there with the Indian team for some important test series. And I also enjoyed working with Anil Baig, because when he was coach of Indian team, he also had a lot of inputs. Being a bowler, actually, sometimes we feel that yes, he was the head coach of the team, but when you interact with a great bowler, he has a lot of ideas about what a batter should do, and those ideas, those tactical moves. I have been very successful against Nathan Lyon. The reason is I got a couple of important advice from Anil Bhai when he was coach in 2016, 2017. So when I implemented those tactical aspects in my game, since then, till the time I faced Nathan Lyon, I've been very successful, and some of those inputs have been very invaluable. And also in general, his guidance about my batting, about how to conduct myself, and also what are the things a bowler tries to do to get a batter out, or how can you counter attack, how can you outsmart a bowler, how can you uh, uh, think differently. Those were the discussions I had with Anil Bhai. So he also has played a major role in my cricketing journey.
Rohit, you
If
had
I
one more question.
Yeah, just the last one from my end. People tend to not notice that you have a 50 over average of over 57, just over 57. That's a proper average for in any format. I was just wondering, what's your favorite 50 over innings that you have played? Doesn't have to be ODIs or anything. Any of the 50 over innings that you have played.
One of the innings I remember that was in Challenger Trophy in Rajkot, where we were chasing more than 300 or close to 300 or 350, maybe, or 340 something. We just lost the game by 6 runs. So I would have scored 130, 40. I can't remember my exact score, but I was batting so well. I was in complete control. The way I was accelerating the innings, unfortunately, we kept losing the wickets at the other end. But despite that, we were so close to winning that game. And it came down to the last ball where we needed 6 runs to win, because we needed 12 to win in last two balls. I hit a six, and then unfortunately, last ball I couldn't convert that ball into another six. But it would have been a great victory. But I still cherish that innings very much, because that is one of my best ODI innings.
Nihal?
Hello, Cheteshwar. Congratulations on a great career.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
the BCCI since the start of last year, and they keep reiterating it, saying it, I mean, reminding players again and again about the need to play domestic cricket when
Yeah.
not on India duty. Uh, but and you are somebody who went back to domestic cricket a lot and played a lot. But with the packed calendar now, do you think it is fair for the BCCI to do that, given the fact that, like, once you have played international cricket, maybe the standard at domestic is not always as high? Or would you suggest, like, would you suggest a idea where instead of playing domestic cricket, you have longer camps, national camps, where the national coaches can monitor these players and work on things before a big series? Just
Well,
wanted your opinion on this.
I think it's important for the players to play domestic cricket. One thing is it raises the standard of domestic cricket. Also, when top players are participating in Ranji Trophy, there's a lot of motivation. There are a lot of things some of the young domestic players can learn from international cricketers. At the same time, yes, I do agree that workload needs to be managed. If you're a multi-format player, you can't be participating in each and every game. But you need to identify if there is a test series which is coming up. And just for that preparation, if someone can manage to play one or two games, that can be very ideal. I'm not saying that all the players should be playing the entire domestic season, because you have 7, 8 league games. So for a multi-format player, it's never easy to participate in all the games. But for a batter, I think they should be playing as many games as possible in domestic circuit. For a bowler, it might be slightly different. Someone like Jasprit Bumrah, who needs to manage his workload, even at the international level, you can't expect him to play domestic cricket. But at the same time, if there is a young fast bowler who is just trying to develop his bowling in red ball cricket, he should be playing as many matches as possible. But one also needs to uh, keep workload in mind. So with the right assistance, that there should be a guide. There should be some guidance from Indian teams physio, or the physio at the NCA, to monitor how many overs he has bowled, and along with that, they should be playing. So there should be some Either the team management or the coaching staff at the NCA, both of them should be sitting together and then try and figure out a roadmap for each and every player going forward in the domestic season.
Okay, sure. One more question I have. Like two of your former teammates, Rohit is now 36, Virat is 38, and they find themselves in a position you have been quite a while in your career playing just one format. They're just playing the ODI format.
Yeah.
And the ODI World Cup is in over 2 years away. Since they play only one format and you have done that for quite a bit of your career, what advice would you give them? That is the first part of my question. Where
Yeah.
how do they, because the international cricket is at a different level. You can't just come in and then, however great a player you have to put in the hard work. And a related question is, with so many youngsters, we saw it during the Test series, uh, ready for international cricket, knocking on the doors. Do you see a future for these two batsmen? I mean, when I say future, I mean at the 2027
Yeah.
World Cup.
Yeah. Firstly, I don't need to give any advice because they are one of the best players in white ball cricket. So I don't think they need any advice from me. Even if they are just playing one format of the game, they know what is expected out of them. They're such a talented players. Especially when it comes to white ball cricket, look at the records which Virat has. We look at the record which Rohit has in T20 and the ODI format. So they are experienced enough to know what is expected from them. They also know when is the right time for them to call it off. So I wouldn't want to comment on that because it's always a personal call. If they are fit enough, if they want to carry on playing international cricket for a long time, it's their call. They know it better. But yes, I'm very sure that they are committed to the game. If they are playing, if they carry on playing ODI cricket for the Indian team, they know that there is a lot of commitment which is needed. There needs to be a lot of hard work which they need to put in before the series starts. And when you have played all the formats of this game, you know that when you are playing at the highest level, you can't. People expect good performances from them, and to produce that good performance, they know that they have to work hard, and I'm sure that they will continue working hard as long as they're playing for the Indian team.
Venkat?
Yeah, Cheteshwar, hi. Congrats on a very good career.
Thank you.
I'd just like to know, like you've been like playing domestic cricket on a regular basis. So from the time that you started until now, how is the quality of the bowlers you face in the recent times, be it the fast bowlers or the spinners? How do you see them in the recent
Uh,
times?
are you talking about domestic cricket or international?
Yes, domestic cricket.
Domestic cricket. Yeah, I think the quality of bowling has improved when it comes to fast bowlers. I think the quality of fast bowlers in each and every domestic team has improved a lot compared to when I started playing domestic cricket. Because back then, uh, most of the teams had very good quality spinners, and I ended up playing more cricket on a turning track when I started my cricketing journey. But now things have changed. Teams have good all-rounders. Teams have good spinners as well. Maybe the quality of spinners, what was there earlier, uh, and what is there now, there is a bit of a difference, I would say. Because of the white ball cricket, most of the spinners are looking to contain. They are not trying to pick wickets. I'm not talking about all the teams, but I'm talking about some of the teams where they are getting their spinners from white ball cricket, and that's why they are just trying to adjust their bowling and learning the art of bowling in with the red ball. So that's where the major change has been. I'm sure in Indian domestic circuit we will get more spinners going forward because we need that. We need to have a pool of spinners who are ready to play at the next level, and that's what I'm sure even the BCCI is looking into because going forward, once we don't have some of the great players, someone like Ravindra Jadeja, Akshar Patel is there, but Kuldeep is also there. But if there are a couple of injuries and if some of the players are not available, who are your replacements when it comes to Indian spin bowling? And that's where I think you need to have a bunch of players who are ready at the next level, and I'm sure that will happen eventually. But I still feel that spinners needs to be nurtured in domestic cricket, and I hope that uh, they are being looked after as the game progresses.
Hi, Cheteshwar bhai. Congrats on having a fabulous career.
Thank you.
Yeah, so there was an interesting bit where you spoke about concentrating while playing alongside Sachin Tendulkar in his last test at Mumbai.
Yeah.
So if I could group you and the likes of Steve Smith and Marnus Labuschagne, you all come under same bracket where you all are very methodical in your ways. And by methodical ways, I mean those quirks like last second ball watching or the shadow batting you guys used to do, and those little routines which makes you guys a bit different than others. So my question was like when you're logged in, it's very difficult to break your concentration. But is it like, have you ever felt that it is more difficult for you to feel at ease when you are middle? Certainly because it's harder to get in that logged in zone at the first place.
No, I don't think it's difficult because one is, as you were mentioning, there's always a method behind what you are doing as a batter. So each and every batter has a different way of preparing themselves. For Labuschagne, it might be different. For Smith, it might be different. For me, I follow a different routine. But it's important to stick to your routine. It's important to stick to your preparation methods. Once you do that, you get into, when you walk into bat in the middle, you get into that zone where nothing is disturbing you. Uh, when you were saying that, is it difficult to get into that zone? I don't think so, because when you do hours and hours of practice, you have a lot of preparation. Uh, Even without practicing, so someone like me, I do yoga and breathing exercises, which also helps me immensely. I have follow a prayer routine, which also helps me immensely before a game. I do it every day, whether there's a game or not. That's irrelevant. But when you follow a certain routine, you develop a habit of how to get into the prime focus zone, or how to have your prime concentration when you walk out to bat. So to get into that zone, I don't think it is very difficult. And also, once you get into that zone, there is nothing which can distract you. There might be a lot of sledges on the field. There might be a lot of things which will be talked about on the field. There might be a lot of distractions on the field, where whether what you have done in the last ball, what is expected out of you. If you are playing in a higher pressure game, how to handle that pressure, how to stay in present, how to be in that zone where you are just focusing on one ball at a time, because batting is all about being in present, trying to focus on one ball at a time. And to achieve that, each and every batsman have their method. And once you know your method, then you start relying on it, and you carry on with that.
Yeah. Thank you so
Cheteshwar,
much.
if you can just slightly more give more details of it, like once that one clip which is going viral these days about you following the ball from the hands of the wicket keeper to the slips to the bowler, you keep watching the ball. You also
Yeah.
spoken about you when you're on the nice non-striker, and there are some chants which you would repeat just to be in that focus. I'm
Yeah.
saying it's for normal person very difficult to understand that how you can be in that zone. You don't even know there is a crowd around. You don't even know, or you don't feel it, right?
Yeah.
So, in case if there are some other methods you would do, it would help people. And what is that blissful moment you have been, which you recall that okay, like absolutely cut off from everything, and you're just focusing on the ball? If you can just share, it would be difficult, but yeah.
Yeah. So when I walk into bat, as a batter, when you are sitting outside, because I bat at number three, and I know that openers are going to bat before me. So you are just sitting. You don't know when you walk into bat, because sometimes openers can have a long partnership. Sometimes you might have to walk into bat in the first over before the non-striker even faces the new ball. So you are in an uncertain zone where you don't know when you will walk into bat. So one is, it's important to stay relaxed when you are out there in the dressing room. You still need to watch the game. You still need to assess what's happening on the field. And when you walk into bat, you don't have a lot of time to prepare and see the ball, because when you are seeing the ball from a distance, when you are sitting in the dressing room, your concentration concentration is not at its peak. So to achieve the peak concentration, I used to follow the ball from the wicket keeper's gloves to the slip cordon to wherever it was passed on, just to give a signal to my brain to switch on as quickly as possible. Also, when you watch the ball, you look at the shine of the ball, and also yeah, you are giving a signal to your eyes to keep watching that ball to achieve that prime focus, because either the other way is to try and bat as long as possible, which every batsman wants to do, but to bat long, to survive that first 15-20 minutes or half an hour, because when you are playing in overseas conditions, you are challenged when you walk into bat. The first 20 minutes to half an hour period for any batsman is very, very important. And for me, to be successful or to tackle that initial phase where you are a little nervous, where your body is not moving really well, you're playing in a different weather, because overseas, when you play in England, it's a cold weather and your body is not functioning as you want. So you know that if there is a fuller ball, you want to play on front foot, but your body is stiff. But if you are at least watching the ball, even if there is an error in the footwork, you will able to time the ball. And that's the reason I used to try and develop that prime focus in first 20 minutes to half an hour, where I'll keep following the ball. After that, I used to stop doing that. Occasionally, I still used to do that to pick few cues of whether the ball is reversing or whether there's a conventional swing. But it's important to have a trigger. I mean, not the trigger moment, but it's important to figure out what works best for you when you walk into bat in that first 20 minutes to half an hour's time. Because if you are switched on in that time, very hardly you will see, because any batter, any good batter who gets set will not get out very quickly. Because if you see some great players, once they cross 50 runs, 40-50 runs mark, they always end up scoring a big 100. And that's why I always felt that if I can tackle that initial time, then I can produce a long innings.
I'll just add one more. I'm tempted to
Yeah,
ask one more question. Uh,
yeah,
since you're talking about the match day, I think most important is the day before the match or
yeah,
days before the match, right?
yeah,
Like those kind of very personal, I wouldn't call them distractions, but responsibilities, right? Which you have to keep out of the mind so that your mind is not worked up, right? There, the family plays a massive role, right? Your wife in her book mentions about these things, about how certain things are not shared with you, right? Or
yeah,
there are certain sacrifices which you have to make, like in case if your family is with you and your
yeah,
daughter was tiny, like she would
yeah,
not have a great
yeah,
sleep, and you definitely need a sleep day before the match, right? You need to sleep well.
yeah.
um, what was the most most one thing which you are guilty about, like asking them, okay, like stay away from me because I need to sleep, right? Or something. I'm
Yeah.
sure you have to do it, you are a professional, but something which gives you a kind of guilt. Okay, Shinda, as a small child wanted to be with me, but yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to play cricket. Yeah.
So for me, I'm very particular about my sleeping pattern. I am a light sleeper and I need 8 hours of sleep every day before a game. And for me, I used to follow this routine of going to bed at a certain time and wake up at a certain time. So if I used to go to bed at 10 o'clock every day, I used to ensure that if there was a game which starts at 11 in England, you need to leave the hotel, let's say, at 9 or half past 9. Or in India, I think it's slightly different because it'll be easier for me if I can give you the example of the Indian matches, because in India the match starts at half past 9 in the morning. So sometimes we leave from the hotel at 7 or half past 7. So if I have to wake up at 6 every day on in that particular game, I'll just try and do reverse calculation that how can I achieve 8 hours sleep. And if it was going to bed at 10 o'clock, I'll try and ensure that 3 days before the game, 48 or 72 hours before the game, I'll start following that routine. I'll start to going to bed at that time and try and wake up at the same time. Just to talk about that one particular guilty moment where I felt that my family should have been around, and I still had to tell them, is one of the games in Southampton where Pooja has mentioned in her book that I told her because there was no room available in the same hotel where we were staying, so I couldn't get another room. But I told Pooja that you will have to find another room. You will have to find another accommodation because I need my sleep. I need that 8 hours. When I'm playing in England, I have to be at my prime focus. And she was kind enough to find another accommodation. We had a little bit of an argument, but ultimately she had to move out of the hotel, and then I ended up scoring 100 in that test match. So she then later on told me that yeah, it's worth the effort if you can carry on scoring hundreds like that. I don't mind finding another accommodation while you're playing. Also, I told her not to travel to Australia when Aditi was young. She was just born, and then we had to travel to Australia for that Border Gavaskar trophy, and she didn't. She was kind enough not to travel in that series, and I had an amazing series then. So yeah, she has been reminding me of all the incidents which has happened where I had to tell her that yeah, you if you can please allow me to focus on my game. But the family support is also important. Look, it's you need to identify the moment where you need to be professional and when you want your privacy, but at the same time their support when you are playing away from home is also needed, because there are big breaks in between the games, and that's the time where you want to spend it with your family, just to switch off from the game, start focusing on different things. You can explore the city, you can go out, not all days, but if you have 2 or 3 off days, that's the time when you want your family to be around.
I think you need to compensate a lot since you uh, Nitin.
Yeah, Cheteshwar, congrats, sir, for a very good career. So my question is like, Rahul Dravid was a designated number three, and he took over the responsibility for long years. And since then, you took over, as India's number three, designated number three, red ball cricket. How do you see that transition? Filling into Rahul Dravid's shoes, and also creating your own legacy as India's designated number three for long. And secondly, Cheteshwar, like out of the current crop of the number three batsmen like Sai Sudarshan or Karun Nair or any other batsman that you like, whom do you see, developing into India's long-time designated number three in red ball cricket?
Uh, well, when I started batting at number three for the Indian team, I was not thinking about filling up Rahul Bhai's shoes, because when I actually made my debut, Rahul Bhai was still playing, and I always felt that I wanted to play alongside Rahul Bhai and learn from him as much as possible. So I never thought about replacing him or filling in his shoes. I always batted the way I bat. And I also got that advice at an early age that you never try and copy anyone. So I stuck to my game. I batted the way I knew how to bat. But there were a lot of similarities, and I mean, I could relate to it because I had spoken to Rahul Bhai about the challenges at batting at number three, what is expected from a top order batsman. But yeah, I mean, throughout my journey, I never thought that I'll replace someone like Rahul Bhai. He was a great player who had scored a lot of runs in multiple formats of this game. So I never thought about that. But yeah, it's been an honor to bat at number three and to have achieved what I did in that particular. I mean, since 2010 until 2013, I think more than 10 years time. If I could bat at number three, I was happy because I even for Saurashtra I had batted top of the order, and yeah, I enjoyed that. But at the same time, talking about the current players, someone like Sai Sudarshan or Karun Nair, we'll have to wait because someone like Sai also has started batting well at number three. Karun also got a 50. So they have a lot of potential to continue playing for India. At this stage, it will not be fair for me to say that this is the player who will continue batting at number three. But Sai has shown a lot of potential, and if he can carry on his with the way he has been playing, and if he starts scoring big, then definitely he will have a chance. But it will have to allow them to get matured, progress, and there are 4 test matches in India now in this year. So I hope that younger players grabs that opportunity and start scoring runs.
Uh, just a couple of more questions.
Yeah.
Tushar?
Yeah, Cheteshwar, congratulations for a great career.
Thank you.
Yeah. My question is for a batsman whose game is based around concentration, technique, grit, and tenacity. What role does good physical fitness play in this? And secondly, does it in this regard get tougher as age advances, or it becomes a routine?
Well, fitness plays a major role. I would say it's a massive, massive role in nowadays in a modern era where you are giving your best in each and every game. You are giving your best while you're on the field when you're fielding for a long periods of time. Sometimes you end up fielding for more than 100 overs, 120, 150. Sometimes you also end up fielding for more than 200 overs occasionally, but it does happen. And after that, you have to just walk in and bat. And you're expected to perform well because you can't make that excuse that I'm tired or my legs are fatigued, I'm physically not fit enough to bat. Because even in those circumstances, you have to bat. You have to bat well. You have to ensure that the team doesn't lose a game or you get into a comfortable position. So for that, for any batter, the fitness is very, very important. And if you are fit enough, it also helps you maintain that concentration for long periods of time. It also helps with your footwork. You can convert some of the singles into doubles, sometimes two into threes, and all those small little things helps you when you're playing overseas. Because in India, things are slightly easier. The outfield is also very fast. Where if you don't convert two into three, it is still fine. But in overseas conditions, those small little moments where you can run quickly always helps. So fitness plays a major role in any cricketer's journey. And for a batter, earlier it was just about bowlers. They needed to be fit, but in this era, the batters have to be extremely fit. And as your age crosses 30, that's when you try and work on your fitness a bit more because that's the time where you feel a little bit of more soreness in your muscles. So that's where you want to stay as fit as possible because if you want to prolong your career, then you want to be in your peak fitness when you are in your late 30s.
Last question I'll ask. Just so like this response to your retirement has been like overwhelming. Like we've been seeing on social media. I'm sure you would have also felt that. Like
Yeah.
somebody like his, they don't generally do that. Somebody he's saying that my biggest headache is gone with Pujara's retirement. It's a kind of great tribute to your tenacity, right? Over the years, like have you ever felt okay, like this IPL generation, the kind of contracts and the kind of things which they get, right? Is it finally a very satisfying career with the gratification which you got and the respect which you get from fans and people from your own dressing room, your former players, and even your rivals? How has that feeling been?
Yeah, it has been very overwhelming. I'm very grateful for all the wishes and comments which I have received in last couple of days because all the hard work I put in for the Indian team, it was appreciated and appreciated in a manner which I didn't expect. And those are the things you play cricket for because when you have given everything throughout your journey, when you have chosen the test format, which is the ultimate format of the game, and when you go out there with the right intention for the Indian team, and when you perform well in adversities, when you perform well in difficult conditions, when the team needs you the most, and those are the moments which are appreciated throughout the world, then you feel proud. And as you were rightly mentioning that sometimes you miss out on the IPL contract, and I don't regret if I had an opportunity to represent in the IPL or play all three formats, I definitely would have chosen that, but I didn't have that option. And there was a time where I had to choose or specialized in test format and just try and focus on that. But that is something which I'm very proud of. And towards the end of my career, I can proudly say that the kind of respect, the kind of appreciation I got from everyone in India and across the world, because I've been receiving a lot of texts, not just from India, but the county players, the county coaches I've worked with. It means a lot because when people appreciate, I do feel really proud, and you make people around you proud, because it's not just my journey, it's my family, my extended family, friends. There are so many people who guide me throughout my journey. Yeah, it helps a lot. But ultimately, why do you play cricket? It is to have that satisfaction, to achieve that peace towards the end. That I did what I could throughout my journey, and now I'm satisfied towards the end. I'm at peace that I've played for India for such a long time, and it's always an honor to represent the country at the highest level. And I was fortunate enough that I could play for Indian team for such a long time, because when I made my not I can't say debut, but when I started playing cricket from Rajkot and Saurashtra at that time, no one thought that a cricketer from Rajkot or Saurashtra team can play for the Indian team. So if I look back at this journey, I feel proud that a cricketer from Saurashtra actually ended up playing for the country for such a long time, to have played more than 100 test matches. It's a proud feeling for me. And at that time, the Saurashtra team was also on a weaker side. So someone who played at the Duleep Trophy level was also looked upon as like a remarkable achievement, that you have almost played for the Indian team. But I'm thankful to all the people who were around me, who actually made me realize that I could achieve that dream, and eventually it did happen. So yeah, I'm very grateful towards the end for this journey.
So every blow which you received at Brisbane, putting the body line, it was all worth it, isn't it?
It was definitely. I think that is one of the best innings I've played. The kind of difficulties I faced, and I never. I can even now I can not answer how I did that, because I genuinely feel that there is a superpower which has been helping me, because when you are willing to do whatever it takes for your country, then there's a superpower which helps you achieve that. Because when you get hit on the body once or twice, you are used to it as a professional player. But when it happens frequently, and if you get hit on the same spot again and again, that pain is almost intolerable. And that's why I felt that to sustain through that period, to those challenges when I was getting hit on the body again and again, I don't know how I managed that. I thought that God was giving me that strength to handle those moments.
So, thanks a lot, Cheteshwar, for a wonderful time. You said that nobody believed that you would play for India, but at Express we did believe.
Thank you, Sandeep bhai. Thanks a lot, and thank you for your support. And it's been an honor to have interacted with you over the years, because when you have followed my journey since the under 19s, because I do remember when I was part of the under 19 Indian team at Sri Lanka. I remember that you covered that World Cup, and you were part of that journey. So
Yeah,
uh, your support throughout this journey means a lot.
thank you. Thank you. You and Rohit were room partners at that under 19 World
Yeah, we were,
Cup.
yes. Yeah, yeah,
Thanks a lot, Cheteshwar.
yeah. Thank you, Sandeep.
All the best.